Look at you. You haven't even fallen yet. How you feeling?
I mean, like I need you here for the rest of my life, for sure.
Welcome back to 100 Days. So our week off had officially come to an end. It was day 36 and we were back at Laura's gym once more. We started with a metric test. Chris had a resting heart rate of 62 and mine was 73. And then after running half a mile, Chris's had risen to 129 and mine to 148. We can expect these metrics to be a bit bumpy, but we're hoping that over time, both our resting heart rate and our exercising heart rate will go down. Then we did push-ups. Chris did 35 and I did 29, but let it be known that I was very close to 30. Also, I am now only 11 1/4 inches away from touching my toes. Chris's wrist, meanwhile, is 2 inches away from the floor. 21 days ago, I was 12 inches away and Chris was 4 inches. As for planks, I went for 1 minute and 30 seconds and Chris for 2 minutes 28 seconds, which was an improvement for both of us by 35 seconds for me and 18 seconds for Chris. So then Laura gave us a boxing workout, which as you may remember is one of my favorites, and it was incredibly fun and also incredibly hard. We did a lot of high knees and punches and squat jumps and planks. And this workout was the first time in a couple weeks where I have just been unable to do something. There was a moment when I was supposed to be doing a plank and punching Chris, and my muscles just failed. That noted, not to sound like a motivational poster or anything, but just because your muscles fail doesn't mean that you failed. Anyway, the day was still pretty fun. I feel like Chris had a lot of aggression to get out, so I was a little scared when he was hitting me, but I enjoyed the workout, which is not a verb I thought I would ever use in association with exercise. As for food that day, I had some toast and popcorn and this delicious curry-in-a-hurry fish cooked by my wife Sarah. You can find a recipe for that on the community tab. And we finally convinced Chris to take a picture of his dinner because we were literally right there next to him telling him to take a picture. Yes, that's the same fish. And then that evening we had a follow-up appointment with our dietitian Kim. In other words, it was time for us to fess up about the problems we've been having with food tracking and following our meal plans in general.
So for the first 2 weeks, I was really good about tracking all of my food, taking pictures of it, and not breaking too many of the rules. And then in the last 2 weeks, I've been terrible. I've been totally off the rails, both in terms of tracking my food and what I actually eat.
Okay. Anything in particular?
Processed carbohydrates,
Yeah.
Goldfish crackers, granola bars, cookies.
If it's helpful to look at doing smaller meals during the day, so it's not a full-blown meal with all the different food groups, my goal is always to get at least a balanced meal.
I mean, to be honest with you, Kim, before this, I almost never ate before about 5 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So I wake up, go, and then like when the work day is over, I eat.
From what I could recommend is, again, going back to maybe not even a meal, but just a couple of things throughout the day just to get your metabolism going in the morning. Mm-hmm. Just because I don't want you to go so long. Ideally, we say to eat within maybe the first hour, if not 2 hours of waking up, to get your metabolism running, and then from there every 4 to 6 hours.
And Chris admitted that some parts of Kim's plan just weren't going to be feasible for him.
If there's multiple cheat days of anything, it's probably involves my consumption of like beer and wine and spirits. Mm-hmm. There'll probably be 2 or 3 meals a week where I'm more liberal than I should be.
Okay. My goals for you guys was to get the idea of what it is to eat healthy, what it is to have a balanced plate, practicing your portion control. It's not that I expect you to be to a T every single day. Even though you guys have said that your goal is to have maybe just one of those cheat days, it's not that I expect you to be 100% meeting all of those other goals every other day. I think just being mindful of it and watching how often and how much.
If that's the goal, then I would say it's been a very successful 36 days for me.
I would say that I had a really successful 25 days, followed by a steady decline the last 11 days, followed by an astonishing success for the remaining 64 days.
Okay, we're gonna get back on track.
Kim listened and encouraged us and also gave us some advice for how to stay on track.
Think about the reasons why you're doing it. If it's helpful to make a list of those reasons, that's always a good thing. And I also think it really helps if it's not a dietitian, maybe a friend or a family member who can be there to help keep you accountable. If it's someone that says, hey, let's let's share this meal when we go out to eat, or let's make a healthier dinner together, that sort of a thing.
So in the end, we promised to do better. We promised to track our food and check in with Kim every week via email, and overall, this meeting was really what I needed. I wish we'd done it sooner, in fact. Talking to her refocused me, and it reminded me that this is something I can do. There are going to be successes and failures within this 100 days, but I can celebrate the successes and not be so hard on myself during the failures. And maybe that's a good note for those of you following along at home too. Lifestyle changes are hard, and there are going to be small setbacks within broader successes. And when you acknowledge that, it's a lot easier to move forward. Day 37 was a self-directed exercise day. I ran for about 45 minutes, and I had a pretty good eating day, keeping in mind Kim's advice. And then on Wednesday, day 38, we visited the Naptown Roller Derby, our local roller derby team. I went in with relatively low expectations, thinking it was going to be a fairly easy day for Chris and me. You know, I thought it would be like the roller skating birthday party I went to in 6th grade. I'd roll around for a little bit, fall over, everyone would laugh at me, and then it would be over. But when we arrived and I saw the warm-up and scrimmage, it became clear to me that this was serious business.
Oh, Jesus. God.
You get hammered.
Oh, ow.
Is it any part?
Oh, ow. Jesus. God.
So if you're not familiar with roller derby, basically here's what's going on. There are 2 teams, each with 5 players on the track at once, and both teams have a jammer who tries to break free and do laps around the circle. That's how you score points, and as you can see, it's pretty intense. These women are astonishingly tough and strong.
No, I mean, I can't even roller skate, so I'm definitely not ready for this.
So then it was time for Chris and me to put on our skates and gear.
I'm right back in 7th grade.
Okay, you got it? Oh, you're perfect.
Oh, you're great.
How do I go forward?
Yep. Here, I'll push you forward.
Oh, oh God.
Okay.
I'm gonna go down.
All right.
There we go. And so, yeah. And so we just roller skate.
Keep leaning forward.
Oh, look at this.
F off, Chris.
Just a natural.
Chris, of course, took to skating pretty much immediately, as he does for every physical activity. For me, it was not quite so easy.
You're doing good. And the other thing, you have to just keep telling yourself that you're doing good and that you're doing it. And part of your confidence is going to come from your mental game.
Then we got into these lines, and there was a leader who would pull us along, and after one lap, the leader would change. And at this point, it became pretty clear to me that I was going to fall. We started to go faster and faster, and I knew I wasn't taking the turns correctly, and I just couldn't figure out how to make my roller skates not wobble, and then...
Yeah.
Are you sure? You need a second?
I just need a second.
Okay. Take a second. Yeah, that's usually one of those.
Hey, I just hurt my tailbone.
Your knee bothering you?
I just need to
Tailbone?
kind of place out for a second.
Yep. Grab on, right here.
I definitely wasn't about to put those skates back on, so they let us do a scrimmage while wearing regular shoes, and this was around when I started to really understand how difficult roller derby is. Essentially, all I had to do here was just run around the track, but it was absolutely exhausting to try to get through all of those bodies. The idea of doing all of that with roller skates on while going backwards, moving at incredibly high speeds, falling, blocking, trapping, it just blew my mind. When you watch elite athletes, and make no mistake, these women are elite athletes, it's easy to forget that what they're doing is being done with actual human bodies. And all I could really do was marvel and try to stay out of the way. Anyway, the sneaker scrimmage had tired me out, but we still technically had a workout to do. We did planks and partner squats and lunges, jump rope, partner push-ups. Then we all circled up and did this difficult move. They were basically burpees with dumbbells. It was so hard that I was seeing stars.
I hate this shot, Sheridan.
And then we finished up with a bunch of cone drills.
We are strong! We are Naptown!
And did I mention that many of these women were just using this as a warm-up? After we left, they did a full workout. I emerged from this experience with a whole new respect for roller derby and also a pretty significant tailbone injury. But overall, it was a fun workout, although I think at the age of 39, I can officially announce my retirement from roller skating. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on day 39.
Okay, I'm just gonna get small so you can't see me. Gonna get small so you can't see me. Oh, where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at?
Go in. Sit low, sit low, sit low.